Hi, my name is Jordan Secchio. You're actually in my office right now at the American Center for Law and Justice on Capitol Hill here in Washington, D.C. I've been a contributor to Washington Post on Faith blog for a few months, but now I'm excited to announce a launch of my own blog as part of On Faith in the Washington Post called Religious Right Now. As you know, I'm a social conservative, work for a social conservative legal organization, and with the 112th Congress and a whole bunch of new conservatives heading up just behind me to the U.S. Capitol, we're going to have a lot to talk about. What's happening in the religious right, as you know, and it's been reported on Washington Post on Faith that the majority of the Tea Party that we talk about so much is made up of social conservatives, of Christian conservatives. We're involved in a lot of issues in the United States, more domestic policy than just issues like abortion or the definition of marriage, but also issues on the economy and tax. As the movement evolves and the social conservative movement evolves, how is the religious right evolving with politics here in the United States? We're also involved internationally, so we'll talk about the issues of foreign policy as well. It's something sometimes that we forget. When we elect these socially conservative members of Congress on social issues and domestic issues, they still have a vote on many foreign policy related issues, and their voice matters in Washington, D.C., more so now than in the past few years. So I hope to use the new blog, which has a pretty cool name, Religious Right Now, as a place for all of us to talk about these issues. It doesn't matter what your political background is. I know a lot of you may be coming from a different perspective than me, but I think this is an opportunity for us to just talk about the issues, to see each other's viewpoints, comment on here, and don't feel like you are excluded because you don't agree or you may come from a different religious background or have no religious background at all. We want to hear your comments here on my new blog, Religious Right Now. And I'm excited to be a part of this at Washington Post and the On Faith blog. It's been an incredible time to see your comments and to write about the different topics of the week. But now I've got an opportunity to write a couple of times each week about issues that I think are important to the social conservative movement. If you don't know a lot about me, and maybe you've seen my little picture in the blogs before, but you never see me on camera or on video or inside the offices here, I'm an attorney. I went to a law school at Regent University. I went to my undergrad here at George Washington University in D.C. and did an LLM in International Human Rights Law at Georgetown University School of Law. So I've got an interesting education background. Politically, I was involved in the Bush Cheney 2004 campaign as the National Youth Director at our national headquarters, and also Mitt Romney's presidential campaign. I've worked in Republican politics for a long time. So I've done our work overseas, done the work in the law, and also come from a pretty hardcore political background as well in the campaign world. So I hope that my perspective can kind of mold and mesh all those three different areas of my background together. I also get to speak to about 1.5 to 2 million Christian conservatives every day on a nationally syndicated radio show that's on over, I think, 1,000 stations right now. So I talk to them live for an hour. So I get their opinions. And sometimes, and most of the time, we're talking about domestic politics in the United States. So know that when I'm writing from the religious right perspective or the social conservative perspective, I'm trying to mirror what I'm hearing on radio. And even if you may not agree with that viewpoint, trust that I'm doing everything I can to provide you an accurate image of what 35% of the electorate is feeling about certain issues domestically and abroad. This is going to be a fun time and an opportunity for us to have a vigorous debate back and forth. So I look forward to our discussion and look forward to your comments.